Hello, Nick Johnson here from Applico, managing partner, co-author of our book, Modern Monopolies. Very excited to have John McNeill here with me, CEO of Conexiom. He's going to be with us at the Innovators Summit in Austin from November 14th to 16th at the Omni Hotel. John, great to have you here.
Great to be here. Really looking forward to the event in Austin. Should be a great show.
Tell us about Conexiom. You've been kind of a tech leader in the distribution space here, work with a number of distributors. So tell us what you do for them and what's the value prop for Conexiom.
Yeah, so we're a technology company. We're based out of Vancouver, Canada. Been in business for over 15 years, and what our mission is really to help our customers, and our customers are both manufacturers and distributors, automate their business processes, specifically around sales order automation. And so we help them with the task of taking orders from their customers and digitalizing that information so that it can be ingested into their business systems, their ERP systems. And so if you really think about a customer network that one of our customers would have, their trading partners, we're enabling them to take what today may be, in some cases, a very manual process of receiving orders, it may be through emails, PDF attachments and emails and so forth, and automating the process of getting that information into their back end systems. Where we come into play is really helping to fill what I call the digital gap, which is organizations have been at this for a long time. It's not like this is a new business concept. And traditionally using things like EDI solutions and e-commerce solutions to help with this process. But what we see in the marketplace is, for a variety of different reasons, there's typically a wall that you hit as you try to leverage those technologies, and you're left with this gap that's still manual and undigitalized. You can see what the benefit is of automating that process because you've seen it with your EDI solutions and e-commerce solutions, but for different reasons, you can't get this last mile or last 10 miles done, and that's where we come in to help you with that process.
Excellent. So from a practical sense, what's the benefits of working with Conexiom? We're talking about saving salespeople's time. What are some stats you could share in terms of the impact you've seen with your customers?
Yeah, so if you think about it, typically what you're after is some kind of combination of speed, accuracy, and efficiency, right? You want to get things done more quickly, more accurately, and as efficiently as you can. So when you think about that and apply it to the order intake process, sales order intake process, you're thinking about, how do I get my order accuracy rates at a very high level? How do I minimize errors? How do I cut cycle time in order to get those orders fulfilled? And doing that, obviously, in a more and more competitive world. So where we come in is really, we're the largest provider of those kind of capabilities. We've got over 95,000 participants in the Conexiom network, where we've helped to enable that kind of capability. We process over 1 billion sales order lines per year. So we understand how to do this at large scale and deliver those operational benefits that our customers are trying to achieve.
Excellent. And any particular verticals of distribution where you've seen a lot of uptake or penetration so far?
The beauty of our business is we've been able to apply this across a wide variety of different sectors within the industry. So if you look at electrical distribution, and you look at HVAC, you look at plumbing, anything related to construction, really across all of those vertical segments and a lot more beyond that. So, we work with customers of all shapes and sizes. So, 16 out of the top 20 wholesale distributors, but also, organizations of very, very large global scale down to very small scale organizations as well. It's still the same business problem that all of those organizations are trying to address. The question is the scale and complexity of which they're faced with.
Big topic these days for distributors, and I'd say industry at large, is AI.
Yeah.
Tell us about how Conexiom is using AI. I think you're an interesting example there for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. In fact, I've spent the bulk of my career in technology solutions, B2B type of technology solutions of different different types over the years. So you see these emerging technologies come, and the question is, the rate and speed of adoption of these things, and what business impact it's trying to drive. And in my previous life, before coming to Conexiom, did a lot of work with manufacturers in the life sciences space, so a lot of pharmaceutical, medical device manufacturers, and helped them start the journey to AI. And it's really interesting, the learnings that came out of that and how we're applying it here at Conexiom. If you think about where AI provides a lot of value in today's world, you think first of all about automation, right? How do you automate tasks that human beings may be doing today that you could teach a machine how to do in a repeatable type of format and make that process more efficient? So, you think about either an AI engine assisting you in a decision-making process, or potentially automating those parts of the process that are called, let's say, low value add, with a human being doing it. And I think eventually that's what you want to look at is, how do you free up those really valuable resources, in your organization, in the customer service area, that have that level of knowledge with your customers and are really the key to making those relationships work as well as they can. And how do you take off of their plates those things that are really non-value added rote type of activities, so you free them up to do the more high value task and the things that really do require a human being to drive the best outcome with the customer. So the automation journey is an interesting one, right? How you go about looking at different processes in a business and either assisting the human being or automating that. The second one I think is really, what an AI engine can be excellent at is looking at mass quantities of very large data and seeing what the trends are within those data elements that maybe a human being would have a more difficult thing seeing, because it's just such a lot of data, and sifting through it all and doing it on a real-time basis. So, as you're taking an order, basically enabling the person dealing with the customer with information on the spot about, hey, listen, they usually order this in addition to what they're talking about. Why don't you ask them about that? Or, hey, I noticed the last 3 times that you placed an order, there's a trend happening here that maybe there's an upsell opportunity that we want to take advantage of. And how can a AI engine go through all of that massive data and provide that kind of intelligence and insight to your organization to help you make those decisions more timely and more accurately? And I think that's where a lot of the work is being done to try to achieve the business outcome that you're looking for, which is eventually, better relationships with your customers, higher customer sat, better upsell and cross-sell opportunities, and doing it all in a more efficient and more timely type of manner. And I think at the end of the day, that's really what the test of any type of technology solution needs to be, which is it providing a business outcome that's better than the business outcome that you were getting previously. And that's what we're focused on doing.
Excellent. So while AI is a new topic, you've been working at it for a while, and I think provide a pretty great practical example of how AI is actually, as you said, kind of taking some of the things that used to be done manually and enabling your team to do higher value things when the machine behind the curtain can do those things for them.
Yeah, because you think about the typical experience I've had with knowledge workers like a CSR. I mean, they've got a lot of things that they're juggling, a lot of information that may be in that binder on the desk, or that knowledge that's in their head. And the question is, can you help automate some of that and put them in a position where they can really focus then on the things that really make a difference in that customer relationship? And at the end of the day, I think the world of being a distributor today is a tough place, right? Because you think about the quote unquote Amazon-like experience, speed and comprehensiveness and so forth that you're competing with. You're thinking about how you add value in that relationship that you've got with the customer. So you're not just pushing product around, but you're actually providing a value-added service. And anything that you can do to help leverage, artificial intelligence or any other kind of technology to give you an edge in how you play that very competitive game is, we think, can be really valuable to you.
What are some of the challenges you've seen in B2B for folks embracing technology? Distribution is a $8+ trillion industry. We're talking about a third of the U.S. economy, but compared to both manufacturing and retail, which are smaller comparatively, distribution gets less tech investment. Why do you think that is?
Because I think the problem that's trying to be solved is a difficult problem at the end of the day, because what you're trying to do, this digital gap that I talked about earlier, the reason why there's a digital gap is because you're dealing with your customer base, and that's always the most intricate part of any business, to think about how you automate it. It's much more difficult than automating, maybe a back end accounting function or something like that, because it's where the magic is in a business, right? It's where you meet the market, how you interact with your customers, the kind of deal structure you put in place with your customers, the service levels that you're talking about with your customers. And in my experience, is automation, you always need to think about the risk reward quotient in that, right? And this is not something that you want to take lightly. You get this wrong, there could be big ramifications, right? If you start screwing up the revenue stream and how you're supporting your customer base, that's a massive risk to take. And that's why I think it's been so difficult for a lot of organizations to automate, because the stakes are so high. I certainly saw that in life sciences when you're dealing with mission critical life saving drugs. The barrier to automating a lot of those processes is deservedly very high, because the risk is high. And I think that's the mindset that we as a partner to the distribution industry need to be bringing to the table. Is it's not a one size fit all type of solution. It's not like, everything is a nail and we're bringing a hammer to the table. It's, your customer base is varied. They have different requirements. They have different ways that you need to service them, different cohorts of customers, and you need different types of solutions potentially in order to do that comprehensively. And I think that's where one of the barriers has been to the industry, which is systems and technology capabilities that haven't been nuanced enough to deal with all the varieties that happen in our customers' businesses. And that's what our goal is, just to bring our experience and our vast knowledge of all of the parts of the marketplace to bear, so that we can bring a comprehensive solution to bear. It's not a simple problem to solve, but it's one worth solving.
So, John, look forward to seeing you at the summit, November 14th to 16th in Austin. Tell us a little bit about what distributors who are going to be at the event can expect to hear from you in Conexiom.
Well, I've probably stolen my own thunder with this talk track that I've gone through in the last few minutes, but I'll try to add a little bit more to it than when we're in the room together. I think what you're going to hear from us is industry leading, but practical knowledge and experience about how to solve real business problems that all of those people are faced with on a daily basis, and how to solve that very challenging problem of how you raise the level of your customer interaction. And, I'm a big believer that it's not about the technology, it's about the business outcomes. And so we're going to be talking about how to enable those business outcomes that everybody in the room, I'm sure, thinks about on a daily basis.
Excellent. Very excited to have you coming to the summit, John. I think it's going to be a great event this year, and Conexiom is going to be a big part of that. Thanks for chatting with me today, and look forward to seeing you again November 14th to 16th in Austin.
I'll see you in Austin. Thanks for your time today.